Good morning. Happy Friday, North Forkers. Welcome back to another episode of the North Fork Live, where I, Sunita, along with my two co-hosts, Lauren from Story Petals and Tracy from Miss Tracy Kessler, hop on every Friday for 30 minutes, real quick, to talk about everything North Fork. I'm a little distracted, sorry. I'm not sure what's going on with this filter, but I guess I shouldn't have picked it, but it seems to put this orange glow on everything. Let me see if I can get, every time they update the Instagram app, it's something different. Now it's a different type of pop-up. So I feel like I'm learning Instagram every Friday.
Hi.
Lauren, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm good. I have this orange glow. I mean, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's like I keep looking at the camera going, what is going on? But there's nothing I can do to change it.
Oh, you did a filter?
Yes, I was trying to go live and then next to it was a filter and I pushed it accidentally and now I have this orange. Hi Tracy, how are you?
Hi guys, I'm in a little different view today, just for our special guest. We've got to be standing, so.
Yep. You can totally relate to that.
We all have a different view. I have construction going on in my attic or just sheetrocking and sanding. So where my office is right below that, so there's a lot of banging. So I'm in my kitchenette. I don't even know what that is. Lauren, you look like you're someplace else too.
Yes. Morning, Kristen. I'm at Lulu in Sag Harbor this morning.
Wow, beautiful day to be out. It's blue skies.
I know. I feel like a traitor though. It's our North Fork Live and I'm on the South Fork.
That's okay. That's okay. You're allowed.
The big wide world out there.
I almost took it from outside because I was outside with Charlie and it was so gorgeous that I almost took the call from out there. But the birds were too loud.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
But is it cold though? I mean, it looks nice.
No.
I haven't been out.
No, it's comfortable. It's really nice.
It's beautiful.
If you're to go out. I think
We are definitely going for a walk later. Definitely.
Oh, I'm coming. Yep. Wait, I have a contract. Come walk over here.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
hi, Kristen.
I know.
Hi, how are you guys? Thank you so much for having me.
We're so happy.
We're so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Sorry, we're always so happy to see each other every Friday. We just start chit-chatting. It's like, okay, I know.
I love it.
We have so much to catch up on though with each other. There's so much going on in all our lives.
Oh my gosh,
but
yes. And
welcome.
the fact that COVID is settled right now, so now we can actually go out and do stuff, you know?
It is. It's nice to be back out in the world. It really is nice to be able to go out and like try all the restaurants I've been meaning to try and just feel
Lauren and I met up at one of these women business meetups and I was being introduced to somebody and she shook my hand and for a minute I was like, wait, do we do that now? Like, yeah. But it was so nice. I think it was like 20, maybe even more, right? Lauren, women, like all together. And it was for a minute, I was soaking it in. I'm going, okay, we're outside.
I know. I definitely fell back into like the hugging moment. I did. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just like hugged you unprovoked. And I should have asked before if that was okay.
Hey,
it felt like
birthday cake, blowing out candles on birthday cake is coming next.
Oh my God. I don't know if I'm ever ready for that to ever come back. I'm good for that to never
good with the
be
fan.
Thing. Yeah, exactly. Yep, definitely. I know. I can't believe it. Betty's going to be 3 in May, which is a little while off, but I'm planning it now just because I know what May will look like. And we were talking about birthday cakes and things like that. So every morning this week, she woke up, she was my birthday? I was like, no, not today. We have a little while to go.
Has she chosen what she wants her birthday cake to be yet?
Yes. Oh, we're on a very big unicorn rainbows kick right now. And it's just we're colorful. We're very colorful.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Maybe she's Indian and she doesn't know it.
Oh, listen, I would embrace that. Let's bring on the yellow. I'm here for it.
I mean, you saw the wedding stories, right? I've got a lot of yellow. I can bring it.
I know. I've just embraced color so much. And Kristen, I know with your crystals and even your jewelry for that matter, there's just so much color to be had on the North Fork in a very organic way. Mm-hmm. And it's just nice to embrace it. I wore on that little meetup, I wore black because I was in an event meetup before. And I was in all black. I looked very New York City. And then I got there and I was like, oh my gosh, I like this vibe of me doesn't fit on the North Fork.
Well, also with the weather, like changing, I went and I actually met up with my friend, my college girlfriend. She lives in Huntington. I met up with her at the mall And it was like last weekend, it was like, oh my gosh, spring is coming. I'm getting all colors, like no more
really
snow.
leaning in.
And then 2 days ago, it like snowed. I'm like, all right, back to leggings.
I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Is it?
Don't quote me on that.
Gosh.
Hope not. I'm ready for spring. I'm so ready.
Yes. Exactly.
I don't hear you. La, 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 la. I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
So, Kristen, I mean, I know we know each other from the North Fork. Our paths have crossed. I'm graciously living next to your mother, and one of the perks of my life. And I just love the world to know a little bit more about you. And please tell us about your new endeavor.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for having me. For those who don't know me, my name's Kristen Mullen. I grew up here on the North Fork my whole life. And I believe I was talking to my grandmother the other day, and she said that my family's been in Southold alone since the 1840s.
Wow.
My great-grandfather, well, they came from Ireland from the potato famine, and they came out here and they were all farmers. And actually, I believe it's now called Feisty Acre Farms. I'm not sure, but on Hortons Lane in Southold, near that new gas station they're building, was actually my great-grandfather's farm. And my grandmother lived across the street, and then they moved into like the Bayview area. And I just, every single time, I live in Mattituck right now, and actually my boyfriend and I just signed a contract to move to Wading River for a house, so we'll still be on the North Fork, so it's super exciting. But every single time like I'm here, and I pass those places, I just feel this sense of a deeper sense of home. You know, even like, I don't know, it's such a deep sense and almost like a honoring that I'm still here, because so many of my siblings, my cousins and stuff, they've all moved to the city after they went to college and they started their careers and stuff. But I just feel so grateful that I'm still here. And even on my dad's side, my great-grandfather started Mullen Motors, the car dealership, and that's been in our family for over 90 years. So I'm so excited that I have such great people to look up to in my life, where I can ask them for business advice starting my own endeavor. Like, I was with my grandfather yesterday telling him my new endeavor, and I was just like, you know, it's in my blood. Like,
exactly.
I need to be my own boss. Like,
right.
I am just so excited. And, you know, I actually just partnered up with one of my good friends from high school. We've actually known each other since we were like 4 or 5 years old, and she's my new business partner. And we actually started working together at Sweet Indulgences. It was our first job in Greenport. So
yes,
it's really cool how the world comes back. And now we're starting this business. I originally started a business called Sea Finds during the pandemic, where I would go down to the beach and collect like pieces of shells, beach glass, all that stuff, and I would make jewelry from it. And, you know, I just have this deep connection with this area where I wanted people that felt the same way or knew that we're out here to understand that, yeah, this may be like a weird looking like piece of clam or something like that, but actually if you turn it around and see the purple, it's actually called wampum, which is what the Native Americans used out here for currency. And it's just like, there's so much history and tradition that like I loved instilling in art. And, you know, over the past year, I've gotten into crystals and crystal healing, because that's more of a, like, I believe like a worldly connection. And I wanted to introduce that into my everyday healing, you know.
Oh my God, Kristen, I am so resonating. I mean, you're touching on so many different things. I just have to jump in.
Sunita's bursting. Did you see her?
As a newer transplant, I totally feel the gratitude for being able to live in such a beautiful place like this. So I can't even imagine how amplified it is for you when you have such a long history and such deep roots. Let's just throw that farm name out here in the beginning.
Literally.
No, but seriously, like as you were talking about your family history, and I don't live far from where the gas station is being built and the Feisty Acres farm, so I totally understand what you're talking about, and that's just so awesome that you have that. I can't imagine what it feels like when you drive past places and go, oh, when I was little, you probably did stuff here and lived here. That's so awesome.
Yeah, it really feels feels beautiful. Like even for example, like the Goose Creek Bridge in Southold, that's like the beach that you would go to like when you were in middle school and you see all the high schoolers there.
And we're told not to jump off the bridge. I hope you listened.
Oh no, that's a local tradition to do that. And
yeah.
Even like I remember one of my favorite memories is I was sleeping over my grandmother's house, and I don't know why, but I slept in her bed with her, and she was telling me like almost like similar memories that I had growing up at the same bridge. And it's just like the connection is just so beautiful, and to still be able to see that bridge and go over it and see the younger kids going. And now I'm older now, I'm like, I hope you don't jump off that bridge, but if you do, make sure it's high tide, because there's some big rocks and stuff. So it's a really beautiful thing to see.
It really is. I'm so excited. I mean, Tracy and I are newer parents, and having little ones out here on the North Fork, it's just so nice to have those things to look forward to. I mean, I'm not encouraging Betty to do this, but kind of.
No, me either. Me either. Maybe
time,
start with a bike ride to the ice cream shop, to the
Baby
Country
steps.
Corner Cafe.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I
what we
think
did.
it's such a fun thing to reminisce about, but also, like you said, like your grandmother had those stories, you had those stories. One day, potentially, your children would have those stories, and it's just nice that that is something that carries on, but also to see the growth in the community and being able to be an entrepreneur on the North Fork and, you know, expand your horizons, but still be in the one place that you call home, I think is really a beautiful testament to where we live.
I 100% agree. And even in myself, with starting with shells and then moving on to the crystals and learning about crystal healing and stuff is sort of a growth in my part. And now I get to have my friend, who's also a local woman, just become like part of this new endeavor. It's just so beautiful how life just turns and shows you like your own personal growth and healing. And now I want to like bring that onto other people in a certain way they maybe haven't tried before.
So tell us. Sorry, go ahead.
No, perfect. No, you're going to say the same thing.
Tell us more about. I want to hear more about the shells. Are you still doing that? The shells and the sea glass and the jewelry? Because walking at the beach, because we have so many waterfront beaches here, in the pandemic became sort of a therapy for everybody. I mean, I know for me, certainly, and I have a collection of sea glass, and I separate the blues because they're so much more rarer than the greens, because the green jar is filling up so much quicker. And I keep wondering too, every day I look at the jars, I think, I need to do something with them. I don't know what yet, but it's such an organic part of being here is you see things in nature and they just infuse with you. So
I wish I had known we were going to talk about this, because I have like all my jars, I would have had them behind me. And I want to just go back to the wampum for a second. So I grew up collecting we collected sea glass, but my grandmother, those we called purplies, but I know that they were also, that's what she called them. And I have like jars and jars and jars and jars of purplies. Like that's what we collected, the clamshells. And I always joke that I'm like, if we ever go back to that being a form of money, I am a millionaire. I am ready.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I like it. Let's do it, Tracy.
Yeah, seriously. That's incredible.
Who needs Bitcoin?
Exactly.
We're mining our own cryptocurrency.
Exactly.
Wampum crypto.
Yeah.
Exactly. I like the ring of that.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. So it sounds like that was a progression / intermediate step for you to get to where you are today. And it's just wonderful how the universe just brings you through different steps to get to where you want to be.
Definitely. I'm currently not doing any jewelry right now. That was more of like my pandemic, like I don't know what to do with my life now, because all I can go to is the beach, because we can actually stand like 20 feet apart and be fine. But I realized like I'm not actually a jeweler. I wanted to really I realized I appreciated more the actual pieces than creating it into something else, which I think expanded me into my crystal loving stage. Actually, I used to, before the pandemic, every single year, the Mattituck High School would have a gem and mineral show. And I used to go to that every single year since I was really little, with my grandmother, because she had a February birthday, so she was always looking for amethyst, because that's the birthstone. Amethyst. And I during the pandemic, I was just like, oh, I hope they have that. I loved going to that and everything. And I just realized I loved all the natural raw beauty from the earth, where you look at it and you're like, how the heck is this created? Like, how did this come to be? And, you know, the fact that every single piece of crystal has energy, just constant energy radiating from it. You know, we're humans, like, we're made up of all these atoms, elements, things that are constantly changing and stuff. And crystals are made up of the same exact elements, except they're constant energy. So that is a way where even just maybe looking at a certain crystal, or looking at something that has that energy that radiates, can just remind you, even just to focus on what your intentions are for that crystal, you know. And like doing all that shelling, or looking for the shells and stuff, it kind of just brought me some hope in moving towards something greater, whether it was getting through the pandemic or starting something new with my life or something. And you know, I realized that that brought me to my love of crystals, and then it brought back all these memories of going to the Gem and Mineral Show and how much I loved that. And you know, I've really been focusing on seeing my inner child be proud of me. Bye, Lauren.
Bye.
You know, and like I loved that so much. So I'm like really focusing that, and now that I'm older, I can turn that into a business and share that with other people, you know. Like now I'm like thinking all these ideas where like I can collab with different businesses and help them while they're helping me. And you know, it's just a huge community of growth and love, which is incredible out here. You know, it's just like
Well,
everywhere.
thank you for explaining the crystal part. You know,
Yeah.
obviously I've heard of crystals and have seen them, but I didn't quite understand how the atom and the connection to the energy work. I know I've seen them sold for different energies. Real quick, I just wanted to address, Lauren had a conflict, so she had to hop off, and obviously we didn't want to interrupt you. So
No, don't worry.
We'll see you next week, Lauren. So my question when you were saying that is, because you also talking about your grandmother whose stone is the amethyst, does each person then automatically radiate towards a certain crystal, or do you use multiple crystals for different things? Or, you know, just explain if you can a little bit, because I have no idea what world you're in, other than knowing.
And like, why would someone buy a crystal? For what use would they buy a crystal for themselves?
Sure. I mean, I'll give you an example. I went and visited my college girlfriend last weekend, like I said, and there was a crystal store in her town, and I've been talking about crystals with her all the time, you know, explaining everything. And we went in, she's just like, I have no idea what I'm looking for. Like, what do I do? And I just said, you know what? Just take a deep breath, look at what you're looking at, and find something that's drawing you, you know, whether it's the color, the shape, the size. I don't know, maybe it's a certain piece that maybe could randomly fit in like the corner of your house that you've been looking for or something. And you know, it's strange how your intuition follows you to something. Like, for example, her father recently passed away, and she was drawn towards a crystal randomly, and they had like little description sheets of everything, and it was helping deal with grief. You know, and it was like it was almost like a very comforting thing for her, you know, where it's like I just told her like her gut to follow it. You know, that's the main thing I tell people, where it's like, you know what, if you really don't know, or you're brand new to this, just pick something that you like, and then maybe you can like read up on it and stuff like that. Or if you're actually looking for a certain, like, say you have a lot of anxiety or something, I can help guide you with that. You know, like I actually have a website. It's called the serenitycave.com. That's my business, the Serenity Cave. And with all the descriptions of what I sell, I put down all of the healing properties for it. So
it's not one crystal per person. You can use multiple for different things, or for what you're feeling, or for what you need.
It's really very open, and it's whatever you desire.
Okay.
You know, like there's definitely certain crystals that align. There's crystals that align with the moon phases, with your zodiac signs, with all of that, which definitely can help. But, you know, I really say, you know yourself the best. Whatever you feel, go for it. You're going to attract what you want to attract. And that's one of like my favorite things, you know, where she like picked up that crystal and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Like, you know, it's just the universe really works in that way. And I just let it be, you know, I don't try and control it. But I do offer guidance and help when it's needed.
So how can people like support you? So you have a website and
Yes.
you're talking to other businesses about selling in their shops, or you're in shops, or?
So I'm not currently in any shops. I just started with my business partner this past week. Her name's Devin. So we're online. It's called theserenitycave.com. And then we also have the Instagram that I'm on now, Serenity Cave Crystals, where we're going to start doing like live sales and then Instagram story sales too. And that even like, if you pop on, be like, hey, like I need a crystal for like stress. And then I could be like, oh, hey, like if you want, like I have this one here or whatever one attracts you the most, like here you go.
So let's say I buy a crystal. How do you use them? I mean, that's how naive I am about how this process works.
Same.
Okay,
so
good. I'm glad it's not. I'm asking for a friend.
No, totally. I mean, it's such a, it's just like, you know, it may seem like so complicated because it's like a crystal. Oh my gosh, what do you do? And then it could be so easy too, you know, where, you know what you would do is you can cleanse them at first because you only want your energy to attract it. So like if I'm picking up a crystal that I have, that I'm going to mail to you and stuff, you don't want my energy on it. You only want like solely your energy. So what you would do is you can place it in some salt, some sea salt, and do that. Or you can let it sit under the moon overnight and that'll cleanse its energy. Because the moon is actually, it's a very powerful source and it's really beautiful. Because I'm currently learning about the whole moon phases and everything. And then you're more than happy to just put it in your pocket for the day. Or if you're like feeling a certain way, you can just hold it in your hand and, you know, set your intention with the crystal. Like today, I don't want my stress to be as big of a burden as it was yesterday. And, you know, or it'd be like today, I want to live with less stress. And, you know, even just having the crystal in your hand, like regardless if you believe in the whole energy and stuff like that, you're still focusing on your intention and focusing on how you want to live.
Yeah, it makes sense. I guess it becomes a focal point of where you're diverting your energy to, and something tangible. Instead of just saying intention. It sounds to me like it's something I can hold, and it'd be a representation of my intention, if you will.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Do you have crystals to stop babies from crying? That's what I would like to know.
I don't know. We do have some fun ones they can hold in their hands.
Okay. When she's old enough to actually hold things, I will let you know.
Yes, I mean there are definitely crystals for all ages. So
I must say, you were talking. I kept thinking of jade because I know in the Far East, especially China, a lot of in the bygone days they used to literally hold coins of jades or circles or whatever, and and I think the idea was not only just they carried it in their pocket, but also kept feeling it all day long, so you touched it to your skin. And I guess, I don't know if that's part of the energy transfer or...
Yeah, it definitely is. And, you know, speaking of the past, I was just, I'm actually taking a crystal healing certification course, and I'm becoming a crystal healing practitioner. So eventually I will be able to do like private lessons with people where you can just like, it's a sort of like meditation where then I'll place the crystals on you and then it's just a full relaxation, or I can come into your house and like align the crystals with yin and yang and chi so that you can have a flow in your house where it's just the energy absorbs, reflects, and it's just, I've been working on that in my house and it's definitely been working. But speaking of the past, you know, there was the empires in the Middle East, in Asia, and in East Asia, and then like all of the people in Central and South America, where it was like the Mayan, Aztec, and stuff. And I was just reading where they actually all used different stones, such as like clear quartz, jade, agate, all that, all different ones, but they all use the same stones for the same purpose.
Interesting.
And yeah, I was reading some archaeologists were studying up on that because it's like they had no connection to each other. How would they be able to do this and know that the other person was doing it, like the communication, you know? So it's really like, wow, like maybe there definitely is something
I'll be the
here.
first to admit that I'm always a skeptic. But then sometimes when you find out information like this, it does make you pause and think that perhaps I shouldn't be so quick to sort of just try to figure out what it is and just go with what other people have discovered it is. So I'm so thankful that you came on today and gave us some. We could talk all day about this because it's a whole other world.
I could too. I could too.
But I definitely don't want to let you go without doing our rapid fire North Fork, considering you've been here so long.
Definitely.
So I would love your input on that. So let's just do real quick off the same 5 different perspective. If you were going to go to a local farm stand to pick up something, where would you go?
Wowax in Mattituck.
Oh, I don't know if I've been to that one.
It's on 25. It's a Wowax farm. It's awesome.
I have heard of it. Is it tomatoes or is it something that they're really good at? I feel like I've heard the name. I can't remember
Probably the tomatoes. That's where my grandfather goes, so I just follow his lead.
Making a note. All right. Brewery or vineyard, if you were going to one?
I'd say brewery to see all my friends, but I would go to Lieb for their cheese plates with their truffle honey and the sunset overlooking the farm.
Okay, I've done the cheese plate. I guess I haven't done the truffle honey. Making notes.
It's amazing. And then if you sit outside of Lieb and then you can just watch the sunset over the farm view, it's awesome.
That I've done. I just haven't done the truffle honey.
Highly recommend.
Sounds like Tracy's still soothing Matilda.
Yeah,
I'll keep going. Yeah. What about this is the foodie question for me anyway. So restaurants, any good dishes and where would you go?
Ooh, Legends. Their tuna sandwich, I can't pass it up. Legends is probably the best.
Well, plus, not a bad view nearby either.
I know, it's just I love New Suffolk. That's the thing. New Suffolk is just amazing. So I definitely say Legends.
Okay. Do you wake up in the morning for sunrises? Do you prefer to catch a sunset? And if so, do you have any secret spots you want to share with us?
I love my sleep, so I'll definitely catch the sunset. And honestly, anywhere along the Sound for the sunset. You can't beat it.
I agree. I mean, it's really true. So many people will message me because I post sunsets a lot, asking me which beach it is. And I'm like, I really do travel to a lot of different beaches because even though I am lucky and I am on the Sound, I do like a different perspective. And you really can't go wrong. Like the entire strip, whichever is not private and you can get to. I agree with you. It's
amazing.
It's beautiful. Yes. Did we miss one, Tracy? Did I get them all?
I think we got them all.
I'm like, I need Lauren. Oh, poor Tilly. Okay, so this is going to be tricky because you've had such a long history, but if you could sum up, in a couple of sentences, what you love about the North Fork and why you find yourself continuing to live here.
I believe it's honoring my ancestral past. And I just love, well, my family's still here too. And I just love it. And I love honoring them. I just respect them so much and so grateful that they came here, So I thank them every day, the fact that I get to wake up and be here.
That's beautiful, Kristen. I feel the energy coming from your soul. It's like you're a crystal right there, right now.
Thank you. That's the best compliment I've ever gotten.
So much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This
follow
is incredible.
Kristen is it Serenity Caves Crystal? Is that your
Instagram?
That's mine. And then can you tell the website again for those of
it is theserenitycave.com, and we will also be at some vendor events this spring. So if you follow along, you can definitely join us.
Perfect. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
And definitely come back and bring some samples so we can see a visual of them.
I will.
Awesome.
That'd be great. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a beautiful weekend.
You too.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
Tracy. See you guys next Friday.